And yeah, I'm very excited for this video. This is actually my second time. Yeah, my second time doing the Reading Rush Challenge. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. I am Nika and I make book related videos. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you all my list of books for the Reading Rush Challenge, which will be hosted from the 20th onwards, and I'm very excited for it. If you haven't heard about it, which I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, I'll link the original video down below so that you can check it out, as well as the challenges video so that you can see what the challenges are. And I would really like to tell you all that you should definitely try it out, and it's a fun time really. Everybody's reading. It's a wonderful time to connect with other people from all over the world, over books that you've been reading, over books that you fall in love, over books that you hate, and everything like that. And yeah, I'm very excited for this video. This is actually my second time. Yeah, my second time doing the Reading Rush Challenge. I did the first one last year in 2019, and I'm happy to say that I was successful in completing all of the challenges and everything. However, back then I did not have the YouTube channel, so I couldn't film it, but this time I do, so I thought I would make a video out of this, my whole TBR for this. And yeah, I also have a bullet journal spread done, which is something I always do, even for the I did it for the media book freakout tag, and if you haven't watched it yet, I'll definitely link it down below, and you should definitely watch it. You can definitely check it out and tell me what the books you liked, you hated, and all of them were. And yeah, let's get started with the video. Alright, so there are there are 7 challenges in total, and you can choose one book for each, or you can also stack up. I am thinking of choosing one book for each, but then if time is not liberal with me, I will definitely be stacking up, because some of these books are such that can be read for multiple challenges. So anyway, let's start. The first challenge is read a book that is the same color as your birthstone, and my birthstone is peridot for August, and it is basically lime green. So I did not have a book which is completely lime green, the cover page, so I decided to pick up one book which sort of has lime green, and that is Sea Prayer by Khaled Hosseini. Now I'm sure you already know a lot about this book because it's by Khaled Hosseini. Admittedly, I've only read A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, and I really loved it. It tore me apart, and I thought it was amazing. I actually read it this year, and I also have heard a lot of good things about this one. It is also illustrated, so it's going to be a really quick read as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to read how it goes. And the fact is, many people have read it, many people love it, so yeah, it's bound to be interesting. And it's just plain aesthetic, I think. So yeah, that's my choice for the first challenge. So moving on, the second challenge is read a book that starts with the. And for that, for that, the book that I've chosen is The Roanoke Girls by Amy Engel, I think. But yeah, it's The Roanoke Girls by Amy Engel, and I've heard a lot of things about it, a lot of good things about it. It's a thriller novel, and basically it's about the Roanoke girls, and they are perfect in all ways. They're very mysterious, they're beautiful, they're rich, but something happens to like every Roanoke girl. They either run away or they die. So that's the way it goes. And however, we follow one of these girls who is lucky because she runs away, so she escapes death, you could say. But then 10 years later, she finds out that her cousin is basically another Roanoke girl who runs away, I think, or she rather goes missing, and that's why she does not have any chance, any way but to go back. So the entire premise of this book is really interesting. And there are quite a few books that are like the Roanoke Girls, the Dash Girls, the Wilder Girls, the Final Girls, and everything like that. And I think it is really so very intriguing, but this is the one I decided to pick up because it's been on my TBR list for ages, and I thought that this reading rush challenge would be the perfect for me to pick it up. So yeah, this is the one I decided to go with, and I am very excited to read it. And then the next challenge is read a book that inspired a movie you have seen. So basically, you know, generally in reading rush, what we did is we read a book and then we watch the movie's adaptation. But this time it's the opposite. Read a book of a movie adaptation that you've already seen. And for me, I decided to go with the classic Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Now I have watched the movie with Kate Winslet, Alan Rickman, and Hugh Grant. I think Hugh Grant, was it Hugh Grant his name? I'm not sure, Hugh Grant or Hugh Darcy. I think Hugh Grant. So yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. I think it's one of the most beautiful classic movie adaptations ever made. And so I decided to read this book. But like you can see, it's quite big. I mean, it's not that big compared to other like books we read, but then it's a classic and it can get a bit intense at times. So I'm kind of unsure about this. But basically, if you did not know, Sense and Sensibility follows two sisters, two Dashwood sisters, Marianne and I forgot the name of the other sister, basically. So what happens is that their father dies. So in England at that time, women could not inherit property, so that if the father dies, the whole property goes to the next male heir. And yeah, so these two girls have to basically go away and live in the countryside. It's their story. Of course, it's a romance story, as are most Jane Austen novels. But if you haven't watched the movie, you should definitely watch it. And if you haven't read the book, I'm sure you should definitely read the book, because this will be my first time reading the book as well. So I've got high hopes for it. It's a Jane Austen after all. And yeah, and I also actually have an alternate option for both of these two challenges. Now, challenge number 2 was read a book that starts with the, and challenge number 3 was read a book which inspired a movie that you have already seen. And if I want to stack up these two books, I think I might go with The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. It starts with the, and I've seen the movie already. I haven't read the book. I mean, I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, definitely not more than 3, because I know I've watched it before, and then for my sociology class we watched it again. And suffice it to say that I embarrassed myself by crying out loud, like wrecking sobs in front of the whole entire classroom, in front of every student from all the different departments, because it was an elective class. So yeah, I cried a lot, and it's just so touching. But yeah, because of this very fact that it is so emotional, I am, you know, sort of having second thoughts about it, just because it's so very intense. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is my alternate option for both challenge 2 and 3. Alright, so the fourth challenge is to read the first book you touch, and I'm basically going to bring to your front. I'll put the clip here. There's this stack of books which are actually my TBR books. So yeah, I'll close my eyes and then like blindly try to touch one of them, and then I'll read it. So yeah, enjoy this short clip of me deciding which book I'm going to read. Okay, so I know I said I would insert the clip here, but before I choose the books, I thought I would just show you what the books are. So firstly, we have this memoir, Stephen King on Writing, and I'm really excited. I'm actually very much eager to read Stephen King. I think that the first book that I'll pick up will be Misery. But anyway, before I pick up any of his fiction books, I thought I would start with his memoir, which basically goes as On Writing, a Memoir of the Craft. So yeah, very excited to read it if I choose it. So this is the first one. And then we have another memoir. I did not see the trend. Okay, it's The Beauty of All My Days by Ruskin Bond. It is his memoir, and I mean, Ruskin Bond's writings are just very calming, very soothing sort of thing. And I also actually really adore his collection of love stories. Amazing. So yeah, this is another option, and let's see which one I pick up. And then we have another book, and this time this book is a fantasy book, and it is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. Now basically it has been always described as Project Runway meets Mulan. So basically this protagonist has to make 3 dresses from the laughter of the sun, the tears of the moon, and the blood of the stars. And the challenge itself is way tougher than the Reading Rush challenge. But anyway, I'm really excited to read it. This is actually a second-hand copy which I got from my friend. The tags are still here, but I really like it. I don't mind. It's really in great quality, and it's a hardcover. So yeah, this is the other option. And yeah, and let me show you the last option, because I just decided to pick up 4 such books from my TBR. The last book is actually a mix between literary fiction and psychological thriller, and it is Enduring Love by Ian McEwan. I thought I would include Atonement in my stack, because Atonement would also be the apt book or apt option for the third challenge, which was to read a book that inspired a movie you have already seen. And I've seen the movie for Atonement, but I've not read the book, so I thought that one would be a great option. But you know what, I will include yeah, like I was saying, Enduring Love by Ian McEwan, it has been described as a mix between literary fiction and psychological thriller, because there isn't an actual synopsis that I can read out to you, but basically let me just read 1-2 lines from a blog which is from the Daily Mail. It goes as: Enduring Love has the most gripping first chapter I have read, but it also unravels a fascinating psychological thriller that turns around a stalker and his unfortunate victim. Sounds interesting if a book is described as a psychological thriller and also as a literary fiction in the other blurbs. So this is the 4th option, and my last option is Atonement by Ian McEwan, and this is the movie tie-in edition, which I think is beautiful. I think this whole movie is beautiful, but it's just so heartbreaking. Basically, the beginning actually spans over one day, and the events of that day basically change the whole life of the main characters. I think it is just before the Second World War, and yeah, we have Cecilia, Bryony, and Robbie. And I don't know how to tell you about the book without giving away the plot, because it's amazing. I mean, it's so beautiful, and like the Times claimed, it smolders with slow burning menace. It is a superb achievement. It brilliantly explores the currents of guilt, shame, and anger, utterly satisfying and complete. So yeah, I'm really very excited to read this one if I pick it up. So yeah, without further ado, let's pick up one of the books out of these 5 now. So these are the books. I'm going to close my eyes, and since I'm holding my phone in my hand and I'll be closing my eyes, I might like do something like this, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, so my eyes are closed. Let's do this first, then oh my god. Okay, I'm mixing it as well as I can. I'm going to laugh at this clip later on, I think. So let's see, do I have 1, 2, 3, 4? There should be one more. 5. So I'm going to read. Okay, this is scary. Shall I pick up this one or the top one? Shall I pick up the topmost one or the bottom one? I don't know. I'm trying to touch and see what this book is, but obviously I can't. So let's do one thing. I'll pick up the book second from the top. 1, 2. Okay, so I've just opened my eyes in case you didn't know. It's Enduring Love by Ian McEwan, and are all the books here? Yeah. So my book for this challenge will be Enduring Love by Ian McEwan. So now that challenge 4 is done, let's move on to challenge 5. And challenge 5 is read a book completely not in your house. So basically this challenge was made before the COVID situation erupted all over the world. So yeah, everybody was planning on obviously going on maybe picnics and stuff and doing these readings, but given the current situation, I'm thinking that I'll just take this book and read it in my living room by the window, put up some like nature ASMR noises, ASMR, I don't know, just put up some nature noises or classical music and then read it either sitting in my living room, or I'll actually go to my front yard. So let's see. But anyway, the book that I will be reading for this challenge is Fearless Love. Now this is actually a collection of short stories, of articles, of poetry, of a lot of things, and they all revolve around the LGBTQIAP genre. And yeah, I actually got it from my secret bookshelf website, which is the official website for my book club, for the book club that I'm part of, and I have very high hopes for this one. I actually started reading. I read the first poem that's here, which is Pound's Clang, and I really enjoyed it. It's an amazing collection, and actually it was like published or made, I think it was edited to celebrate the really historical verdict that the Indian Supreme Court gave out on the LGBTQ plus rights on 6th September 2008. And I always forget the date. I'm always like 6 or 16. So anyway, yeah, I have very high hopes for this one. Also, the cover is stunning. It's very short as well, so I can definitely read it very soon. And yeah, moving on, the next challenge is to read a book from your least read genre, and for that I am going to be reading a book from the horror genre, which is something I've never done. I don't think I've read any horror books except one, which was a collection of short stories by Shirley Jackson, Dark Tales I think it was called. So yeah, I hardly ever read horror novels, and I think this is a good time to reach out and expand my reading tastes. So yeah, I am hoping to read either of these two books. The first option is The Only Good Indians, and the second option is I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Now both of these are some amazing horror novels. I've heard a lot about them. The Only Good Indians is also a lot about Native Indians, and I think the fact that the author uses fantasy to write about certain horror elements, certain important topics like racial discrimination, segregation, and all of that, I think that says a lot, really. And then the other book, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, actually my friend Ashish read it and he really loved it, and I've got high hopes for this one. So I've also heard it's really actually very scary, although it's not like completely horror as far as I know. It's like psychological thriller, psychological horror. So yeah, very excited to read either of these two books. I'm actually hoping to read both of these two books if I can, but we'll see. However, I think my first priority is The Only Good Indians, and then if I finish it, I will probably pick up I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Then moving on, the next and the last challenge is read a book set in a different continent, and I'm in India, so basically read a book which is set in a continent apart from Asia. And for that I decided to go with another classic book, and that is Reservation by Jane Austen, another Jane Austen book. Now we all know it's set in Europe. So yeah, I've actually read sort of an Indian retelling of Reservation, which was Mr. Ishwar's daughter, and I really liked it. So basically the story is that there's this girl, she loves the guy, but her father does not let her marry him because he's not as well off as she is. She's rich, he's not. And then yeah, they go their separate ways. But then like 8 years later, the guy comes back to England and he's rich and successful, and they meet again. She's not married, and they still have feelings for each other. So It's going to be an amazing romance read, I just know that. But the fact that this is also a classic by Jane Austen, amazing. I'm basically turning this reading rush challenge into my own classics reading challenge, but can do that. So yeah, really excited for this book, and looking forward. Alright, so we're almost at the end, and the last book that I'll talk to you about is basically the sort of like book club pick for the Reading Rush Challenge. It's basically the common book which everybody who's participating in the Reading Rush Challenge will try to read. Of course, it's not compulsory, but since I already have the book, I thought I'd give it a try, see if I can read it on time. And the book is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. Now, this one is actually a review copy which was sent to me by Bloomsbury India, but for one reason or the other, I've been delaying reading it. But I'm really happy that I've got it. And like I said, it's a review copy. I'm sure some things might be different in the published version, like some changes might be made, but I'm really excited to read it. It basically follows this young black girl, and she is the babysitter for a woman a white woman basically. So one day that the baby is, I think, crying or something, and then she decides to take the baby out for a walk, and then she goes to a grocery store, I think, basically a shop. And then what happens is that a woman there is convinced that this black girl cannot be a babysitter for the white baby. It's certain that she has kidnapped the baby most probably, and so she calls security, and then everything, it causes a huge ruckus. And yeah, I think at this particular time, this is a book which is going to be very informative, albeit fiction. The themes are obviously very important, very overarching. So yeah, this is a book which we'll be reading as part of the entire like book club pick, and I'm really excited to read it because I've heard a ton of good things about it, and yeah, really excited for it. And that's it, guys. We have reached the end of this video. I hope you really enjoyed seeing all the books that I've got planned for the week ahead. It's actually from the 20th to the 26th of July, a Monday to a Sunday. So really excited. I've already cancelled everything that I'm doing that week, really. And unless some sort of an emergency or something that cannot be delayed comes up, I'll be reading tons and tons. I am actually hoping that I will surpass all these 7 books that I've set for myself and actually read more, which will actually be a really great thing and really give me the boost I need to read more, because I've become kind of slow during this time. But anyway, that's the plan. That's what I'm hoping, to read more and more, to enjoy tons and have amazing discussions with all of you. Once again, if you're participating, don't forget to like comment below, and if by any chance any of our books are common, even the book club pick, we can definitely do buddy reads and discuss it as we go on and everything. Really excited for it. And yeah, I hope to see you all very soon, and take care. Peace out. If you like this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button down below. I mean, I've done this for like, I'll finish I think almost a year on YouTube very soon, and I'm still not sure how to say this, but yeah, if you like my video, do like it, click on the like button, then subscribe and click on the push bell icon for the notifications. Yeah, we're almost at 500 followers, subscribers. Still not sure about what to say, but we're almost at 500 subscribers, and I'm amazed at that, honestly. But thanks a lot once again, and I hope you have a wonderful time ahead. Take care.